Hello, everybody, and welcome to Stellos Stadium in Nashua. Home to the Nashua High North, Bishop Guertin, and Nashua South. In this case, Bishop Guertin field hockey taking center stage.
It's our second. It's home to us, too.
Yeah. We are here a lot, and we get to see a lot of exciting high school action. Today should be no exception as the Bishop Guertin girls hosting a first-round playoff game, one of 3 first-round games here in NHIAA Division I. And, of course, with a record of 9-5, the Bishop Guertin girls seated much higher than Bedford, who comes in, the Bulldogs, at 5-8-1.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting game. And in tournament games, I find in the first round in field hockey, you just toss the records
Really?
out the window. Yeah, because BG only beat Bedford 1-0 in overtime on a Sarah Coyle goal back about a month ago. In overtime. And I was at Bedford. So anything can happen. But that was a time, John, when Guertin was having problems finishing plays and putting the ball in the net. They've seemed to have rectified that a little bit. They were 4-5 way back at the beginning of October, and they won 5 in a row to go 9-5. They rescued their season. So now let's see if they can take it a step further, and and it would take a lot of pressure off them if they scored early. And they have a flair for the dramatic. Remember last year we did their quarterfinal game here at Stellos, and they won in overtime. So
wow,
who knows,
Bishop Guertin on a 5-game win streak to end the season, whereas Bedford has dropped their last 2. Their last win was here against Nashua North a couple of weeks ago. As Tom said, anything can happen in the first round game. I looked at one game that had taken place, and it was 6 goals scored.
All right, we're going to pause for our national anthem.
We're ready to play some field hockey here.
Yeah, and some names to look at, and we'll start with Bedford. For those of you watching in Bedford on our feed, you already know that you've got a great goaltender in Rachel Noble. She is a tough player, and it's going to be tough for BG to get something by them. And John, wouldn't you know it, after all the work you did to write out your roster, here's Pete Palladino with one right there.
That's nice.
So we'll take it right there, and then after the game, I'll take them back.
You got it.
So, but anyway, Rachel Noble's a good goalie, and she's really helped buoy Bedford throughout the season. So it's going to be tough for Guertin to get it by her. If someone does, it could be Coyle. It could be Riley Bouvier, who's a sophomore. And you remember that name from lacrosse. She's a very good lacrosse player. It could be one of our favorite athletes, Lindsay Holt, who is kind of like the X factor in this game. She can play offense, defense, on up the field. She's one of the tougher athletes around. She's probably one of the best athletes at BG. It could be Brooke Yabruti, who we've seen in hockey, and also I believe in lacrosse, but she's a good field hockey player as well, one of their top scorers. So take a look at that. Now, as far as the goaltending for Guertin goes, they usually alternate, John Collins. They usually have Monina Tosi, number 77. She should start the game if they go by the way they've done things. And then McKenna Riki is the other goalie, and she usually plays in the second half. But I don't recognize the goalie who's gone out there for Guertin. It is 77. Okay, couldn't see the number. Thank you, Tim. Tim O'Neill on camera. Pete Johnson, our executive producer. John Collins will take you through the start of the game, and I'll join you, John, in about 10 minutes in.
Thank you, Tom King. As Bedford's already set up and ready to go, BG coming out of the huddle. And their starting goaltender trotting to her position, Menina Tosi, a junior. Senior in goal for Bedford, as Tom mentioned, Rachel Noble for the Bulldogs. So 1-0 when these two teams met, and it was an overtime goal, as Tom pointed out, at Bedford when they met on September 21st. It was a rough start to the season compared to the way they finished for the Bishop Guertin girls with 5 straight wins. So something was clicking for them in the month of October, and hopefully they can continue that here into the playoffs. This is one of 3 games that's taking place today. It's the latest one. There was a 3 o'clock game, a 4 o'clock game. This one getting underway at just about 6:30, or just short of it, as we have 30-minute halves in New Hampshire high school girls field hockey, a half a minute in. And BG starting to put a little bit of pressure on, keeping the ball in the offensive end on the far side of the field. Generally, a lot more whistles in field hockey than you might see in soccer. Rules come into effect. The officials hold the players to it. Body contact frowned upon, and that'll get a whistle, as well as any kind of dangerous hits. And you see a lot of goals being scored out of set pieces, penalty corners, and that sort of thing. The other first round games that took place today included Manchester Memorial against, Manchester Memorial took on Merrimack, and Merrimack 6-0 in that game that took place at 4 o'clock this afternoon. The Merrimack team scoring an unusual number of goals for a field hockey game. The other one that took place at 3 o'clock, Dover defeated Timberlane 2-1. So Dover advances to play second-seeded Wyndham, and the grand prize for Merrimack for scoring 6 goals today was they get to play number 1 Pinkerton. No picnic there on this coming Friday, the 25th of October, in the quarterfinal round of the New Hampshire Girls Field Hockey Tournament. The winner of this game, Bishop Guertin against Bedford, will advance to play the 3 seed, Winnacunnet, on Friday, October 25th at 3 o'clock up in Hampton. Bishop Guertin hopes, of course, it is them. But Bedford played them tough a month ago. We'll see what occurs here as the Bulldogs try to get the ball into the offensive half of the field for the first time in this game. And they don't. Right at the 50-yard marker, we saw a nice takeaway by Sarah Coyle at midfield, a senior standing up at the line and denying Bedford a chance to go on offense officially for the first time. Ball played back to Liv Lebichuk, and Liv throws it down the sideline where it's intercepted by the Bulldogs. Will try to get it across midfield yet again. They do this time, but barely by about a half a yard. BG with some nifty passing and traffic, and the Bulldogs with something brewing here at midfield. Well, it's violation against the Cardinals, so Bedford with some breathing room at midfield. The goals are set up exactly on the football goal line, so you have a 100-yard field of play. And the sidelines are wider than the 52-yard width of a football field, so a little bit more territory to work with for the two teams. BG's forwards run into some traffic. They steal it back. Good lead pass there by Sarah Coyle. Almost a one-timer by Stephanie Colomb, number 10, to get it in the middle. And hacking at it was number 1, Riley Bouvier, in the center slot. Not able to get a shot on goal. We're still awaiting our first shot on goal of the game as the ball trickles across the end line, and BG will retrieve it as they are going to restart play with the Cardinals in possession, about 25 yards out. Close coverage on the far sideline, but BG very adept at getting the ball to the player they're trying to pass it to. That's a key in soccer and also in field hockey, stringing passes together to make progress down the field. It's not that easy against the tougher teams. And there you see Bedford not able to string some passes together, and BG back on the attack. Whistle favors the Cardinals on the restart. And it's the ever dangerous Sarah Coyle. It's going to stick handle right in the middle, and she's going to let one fly. It is intercepted there by the Bulldogs. Tim O'Neill on camera. John Collins along with Tom King at Stellos Stadium. It is a cool, but for the most part dry. There's been some spitting rain, dry conditions here in mid to late October. So a lot of the players going with long sleeves there. You could see that BG's number 18, Brittany Pearson, is impervious to the chill. No long sleeves for her as she shoots it on up ahead, intercepted by the Bulldogs. And a whistle will favor the Cardinals just 15 yards away from the goal with a bit of an angle to it. Sarah Coyle slides it on over. In the middle, chance for the Cardinals. Bedford trying to get it out. Shooting position through traffic. And it goes wide. What a terrific chance Liv Lebichuk had, number 15. We had the good angle from right behind her as she faced toward the goal from about the 10 o'clock position. Now another chance for the Cardinals. That also goes wide to the left of goaltender Rachel Noble, the senior netminder for Bedford. Her heart rate had to increase there, and that flurry of chances by the Cardinals in close. The best of all was Liv Lebichuk. It looked like she was going to slide it through about 3 pairs of legs, including goaltender Noble, but it was finally deflected wide to the left. So the Cardinals looking like they're going to reload here as the stoppage favors BG. Brittany Pearson shoots it on ahead. She's able to find her teammate, Brooke Yabruti, number 5, who hits the turf. Bedford with it. The officials let them play on. Well, they'll do a play in from the side. There you can see you don't have to pass to somebody in field hockey like you do in soccer. There's a shot and a goal! BG, too much pressure for Bedford, and they are able to finish that time and seal the deal. On the left doorstep, it was number 5 for Bishop Guertin, Brooke Yabruti, with the game's first goal. From point-blank range, no chance for Rachel Noble. It looked like Rachel made an initial save, and then right there on the doorstep to the left, Brooke Yabruti made no mistake. She was able to shoot it just inside the near post and into the back of the box. So it's a 1-0 lead for the Cardinals at about the 7.5-minute mark of the first half. So an all-important first goal. It was only a 1-goal game when these two teams met on September 21st. 1 goal decided it, and that came in overtime. So you can see the advancements that BG's made offensively and team-wise with the cohesion they have shown to generate chances early that led to the game's first goal. Now this is a first break for Bedford. First trip down the field, and they are about to get a penalty corner as they win a call, a foul in deep. And starting it off for Bedford will be Marina Braga, number 4. Trying to get the equalizer right away are the Bulldogs. Ball's in front, and it's between the legs of the goaltender, but not before the whistle blew. And so that whistle obviously favored the Cardinals, and they get it all the way out of danger and into the offensive half. Good rush being put on here on the far side by Riley Bouvier, sophomore forward and midfielder, advanced the ball about 50 yards down the field before she really met resistance. Bedford will take possession now, though, in their own end. They have to be encouraged by the fact that they got a near goal opportunity on their first trip into the offensive zone of this game, and it was a long time in coming, over 7 minutes, including a BG goal before Bedford made any kind of an offensive presence. Cardinals, though, are now back on the attack. Sarah Coyle, who has been setting up her teammates since the opening whistle, advances it. Riley Bouvier stick handles to the right, and she's broken up there by a good Bedford defensive play. Anna Eby, EBY number 5, made a key play down near her own goal line. And Ann Eby will knock it forward. BG intercepts, and they shoot it right back into the danger zone. Ball pinballing around deep. BG trying to turn it into a shot on goal. There's a lift shot. And that is, I believe, going to go as a BG corner. It might have been batted down, or one of the Bedford players bodied it, so it is a whistle and an opportunity for the Cardinals as they slide it on back. Bedford does a good job of attacking the ball, but BG maintains control. A shot on goal. Rachel Noble is right there with her pads locked. Rachel Noble with 2 saves. Ball still loose, and it is whistled dead. A violation before BG could get another shot away, but they're right back to setting up for yet another penalty corner for the Cardinals, and another opportunity to double up their lead of 1-0. Pass right in the middle. A one-timer off to the side. Opportunity there for Sarah Coyle to shoot it as soon as she got it, but she passed it up literally in favor of a pass to one of her teammates. That shot's going to go wide to the left, and it will be Bedford ball. So a flurry of activity in front of Rachel Noble again, yielding almost the second goal of the game. BG has to feel good that they already have one on the board, and they're continuing on with the pressure on offense. That one's intercepted, but Bedford able to steal it back, trying to advance it toward the middle. And it'll be Cardinal ball. Hacking it up to the high slot was Liv Lebichuk. It was intercepted by Bedford. Number 22 for the Bulldogs is Nicole Message. And she advances it into the offensive end where it's tracked down by the Cardinal defense. Loose ball seized upon by BG, and a good job of immediately clearing it to the Bedford half. Bulldogs had one penalty corner that nearly yielded a goal, but a stop was made by Monina Tosi. We have played over 12 minutes now of a 30-minute half. The Cardinals enjoying a 1-0 lead. Bedford dropped the last 2 games of the regular season, scoring only 1 goal in those 2 games. So they've got to be a little bit discouraged, knowing how goals are tough to come by, that they dropped down 1-0 here early. Yet there's a lot of time left on the clock, and that actually might serve to increase their sense of urgency about needing to score rather than sitting back, as you might do in a 0-0 contest if it goes on and on that way, and get you thinking more defensive minded. At least some of the Bedford players, the goal scorers, have got to be thinking, can't sit back, we need that equalizer either here in the first half or in the second half. But it's not going to be okay to play for a shutout in overtime in this contest as it was on September 21st. That one gets knocked out of bounds. It was a deflected ball, off of the Cardinals, I believe, so Bedford will be allowed to take it in as a Bulldog retrieves it from the hedges here, which have turned fully red with the foliage season. And on the restart, the Bulldogs have it 25 yards out from goal, trailing 1-0 with 15:44 left in the first half. Errant pass seized upon by the Cardinals as they push it on into the offensive end. It's a 1-on-2 for the moment. First back for the Bulldogs. And it's a 50-50 ball now near sideline. Number 3 is Elise Harnish. Bedford gets the call there, and they get the possession. Down the sideline it goes. Bulldogs accidentally knock it out of bounds, and it's Brittany Pearson with the restart duty for Bishop Guertin, right in front of her own, or actually, excuse me, the Bedford bench. Down the field it goes, near sideline. Bulldogs first to get it. Nifty play by the Bulldog defender, number 4, Marina Braga, who slid it right through the legs of Elise Harnish to clear it up toward the middle. And Marina Braga gets to restart here. Near sideline, in front of her own bench. Official pointing out that the restart should have been about 5 yards that way. And so they get it right. Quick steal by the Cardinals and back on the attack. How to know where your teammate is. Slide it toward the goal. Elise Harnish with a heads-up play. Also just putting it right on the goaltender, and Rachel Noble kicks it aside to stymie that threat. But she's got to be concerned that her defense gave the ball away, and then BG connected quickly. 3 quick passes between 3 players, and they got a shot on goal. Something that Bedford has had difficulty doing. BG with the instant offense. Steal. Bedford trying to desperately get it out of their own end, and they do. Goes across the 50-yard marker. Guertin, good job on the back check, able to get it back into the offensive zone, and they get a whistle. They clear it on up. 50-50 ball far sideline. BG's number 10, Stephanie Colombe, making progress on the far side as she drops it back to Lindsay Hult. Lindsay Hult toward the middle. Hult's going to try a long one. It ricochets right through the slot. Hit somebody's body there. I guess it was a Bedford player, because the restart's going to be very advantageous for Bishop Guertin. It's going to be another penalty corner, and this is yielded some scoring chances because Bedford doesn't seem to get to the pass quickly enough. And every time you see BG set up like this, they have an automatic shot on goal opportunity. They pass it toward the right. There's the shot, and it's through traffic. It might have actually deflected off of BG's number 5, Brooke Yabrudi, at the near post. She's the goal scorer in this game. I think that surprised her how quickly it came through everybody. Had she been able to settle that ball, it would have been easy put into the gaping open cage. As Rachel Noble had her attention affixed on the shooter to the right, and it came all the way across to the left. Bedford gets it out toward midfield. Brittany Pearson shoots it down the sideline. It got deflected out of bounds by the Bulldogs, so BG will retain the ball. BG and Bedford, these two teams do battle in every single sport that they play, it seems. And usually it is a nail biter. So many athletic talents for both schools. And they field winning teams in just about every sport. it seems. 1-0, the Cardinals are on top as we get down to the 11-minute remaining mark. So 19 minutes have been played. 1-0, Guertin leads and looking for that second one. They've had their chances to go up 2-0. And here comes another chance seemingly. That pass goes right across the high slot, and fortunately for the Bulldogs, it finds a Bedford stick. Tenacious offensive pressure being put on by Bishop Guertin. Bedford on the restart. Intercepted by the Cardinals. Brittany Pearson trying to track it down with a couple of Bulldogs right around her. Good move by Pearson, but the third Bulldog breaks up the play and shoots it back toward midfield. Actually, they're going to say violation by Bedford. So Pearson sweeps it on up ahead through everybody. A lot of velocity on that pass, and it just goes over the end line. So Bedford will restart it deep in their own end, where the ball has been for most of this game. Tim O'Neill, our cameraman, has just been pointing to the left for about 95% of the time. Here's BG walking right in with the ball in traffic, trying to get a shot away, and it's in! A goal, and it's a good goal. Number 1 is Riley Bouvier with the turnaround play. And Riley's going to go fetch that ball. 2-0. Guertin is on top in this first round playoff contest with 9:42 remaining in the first half. The Cardinals with a commanding 2-0 lead. It will be very difficult for Bedford to surmount, of course. The Bulldogs calling the game's first timeout. Bulldogs head coach is Anarchy McStowe. I'm sure they call her Ann, and her assistants are Kathy Campbell Kelly. Her assistant is Kathy Campbell Kelly. Head coach Steve Duprat for Bishop Guertin, assisted by Marissa Roger and Bridget Sika. The Cardinals finishing the regular season 9-5, where Bedford was 5-8-1. They finished down in the Bishop Guertin finished down in about the 5th or 6th place, so they drew a lower seed to host the game here, Bedford. And the winner of this will advance to play the number 3 overall seed, Winnicott, in Hampton on Friday, October 25th, in a quarterfinal contest.
Well, there's no doubt as to who's dominating the game offensively. That's for sure.
Yep.
Guertin could probably be up 4-0 right now.
They could be.
Yeah.
Yep.
A couple shots gone wide, a couple kick saves, a couple deflections. But they'll take 2.
Yeah, you talking about that game on September 21st. It was 1-0, and that goal came in overtime.
Sarah Coyle, yeah.
Yeah, obviously this BG team has found cohesion, teamwork. They're stringing passes together. They're
yeah, your Broody had an open net for the first one, and the second one was a bang-bang play.
Yeah.
You know, not really expected.
Turnaround by Riley Bouvier.
Yeah, and those are the people I told you. Look
You
for,
did?
for scoring.
Yeah.
And that's who they had to have score early in the year that weren't doing it. And that's all changed now.
More reps, more games, more practice, and more results here in the first round playoff game. BG up 2-0 after the timeout. Bedford trying to come out ablaze, and you saw a Bedford player slip on the stick of a BG defender. That was Regan O'Brien that hit the turf, but bounced right back up, number 7. The Cardinals trying to steal it away, and a little bit of a body check going to be called there against the Bedford Bulldogs. I guess it could have been called either way, it looked like. So BG gets the benefit, and they clear it over midfield and out of bounds. So it'll be Bedford ball. 9 minutes to go in the first half. The Bulldogs have a tough hill to climb. They dropped the last 2 games of the regular season and scored just the 1 goal between those 2 games, and they're going to be called upon to score 2 in 1 game here, in 1 half, really, if they want to come back and make a game of it in this first round playoff contest. Long shot finds its way in the goalie box area. Kick save.
Kick save by Tosi. Not an unusual for a team after they score to kind of let down a little bit the other team to get some momentum. What BG's got to do with 8:18 to go in the first half is keep Bedford off the board. You go in at halftime down 2, it's a lot different than 2-1. Or 2-2 for that matter, but still.
I believe that was a right Tosi save.
No, I think it was left Tosi.
Was it left Tosi's? Sorry, Monina. Had just one time. But this is her toughest save of the game, and that says a lot about the BG pressure. We've been looking to our left for 95% of this first half. Bedford trying to change that right now. Taking a whack at it was Regan O'Brien, number 7, trying to get in the middle. Regan has it, shoots it again. A couple of BG defenders in the way, and the whistle blows it dead. That's a kick against BG and a penalty corner coming up for the Bulldogs. So they generated a nice little scoring chance out of this set piece the last time, the only time they got to do one before, as Regan O'Brien, number 7, goes to try to set it up at the far corner there. He's going to try to feed it to one of her teammates and maybe get a shot in here on Manina Tosi. At least cut the deficit in half if they could before the halftime. That's in the front. BG defenders all over the shooter. And that was a high ball that...
that was an interesting play, passing it to the side where there really wasn't an angle for a shot.
Yeah,
and you really had to set it up to the outside before you go back in. I just think, why not give it to somebody charging into the circle for the quick shot on Tosi?
This is where this seems to be their formula. They do it this way.
Now that's a little bit better.
That's a shot that goes into bodies in front, and BG succeeds in retaking possession here deep in their own end. So they negate the Bedford threat for the moment, and they move it smartly all the way to midfield quickly. That's something Bedford's not been able to do, and BG has shown an ability to get the ball out of their own end quickly. In this instance, the whistle favors the Bulldogs on the restart, and they'll do it near midfield.
And it's pretty miserable out there right now.
Is it starting to rain?
And drizzle.
Yeah.
Enough drizzle to make it a little slick on the field.
Up ahead, here goes BG on the attack again. Bedford's able to step up and intercept, though. Number 4 for the Bulldogs is Marina Braga. She's played well back there on defense for Bedford. Bulldogs on the move, far sideline, towards the middle. Very few Bedford players go unmarked, especially in the offensive end. Not much breathing room.
No. Whereas Guertin has had good rushes down the left and right sides.
Yes.
And that's helped set up their goals.
It was.
But now you can tell they've let up a little bit. The offensive pressure isn't there. Bedford's had the better of the play since that second goal after the timeout by Anik McStowe, the head coach. It's a different name. Anika. Anika?
Yeah, Anika, I think it is. And her daughter, I believe, Isabel McStowe, is on the team, sophomore. Also have an Isabella McGovern on the team. Now BG on the attack. They cover.
See that rush down the wing is very good. They
great idea on the feed there. Just not able to connect by one step.
I think you're better off going down the side and then taking it in from there. I think that's worked for them in that first half. I was down there in that area most of the time, and that's worked for them this first half.
Yeah, that led to a few scoring chances, more than a few. So restart for Bedford. There'll be 40 yards from goal here as they look in on Monina Tosi and look in on with longing on getting that first goal if they could. That would be huge for Bedford going into locker room at halftime. Just under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. And the Bulldogs steal it back. In the middle, high slot, trying to get turned around. And
good opportunity. You're in the circle. You had a chance for it.
Here's a shot from up high. BG's able to intercept, though, and clear it away. Still Bulldogs ball. 3.5 minutes to go, first half. The Bulldogs trailing 2-0, looking for that elusive first goal. No guarantees that they'll get one, and it's been, counting the overtime, over probably 90 minutes of play against this BG team. Scoreless are the Bulldogs this season, including the regular season 1-0 loss.
Yeah, you're talking 30-minute halves. That's 60 minutes right there. And the overtime, not sure when it was scored in the overtime, so you can't get an accurate count, but they're over.
Sense of urgency, certainly, and good clear right there by Bishop Guertin.
Very good clear, and now they could be able to turn into a break maybe, but almost.
Almost. Near sideline. That was number.
Looked like Elijah Linton had the break, and she was ready to move forward and just couldn't get ahead of steam up. And now she's down into the right side, or the sideline, right past the Bedford bench, looking for that pass.
Stolen by BG. They have a chance here.
Here it is.
Good. Riley Bouvier in deep, shoots, and it's a save. Shutting down the 5-hole there was Rachel Noble. Loose ball. BG trying to get yet another shot on goal here with under 2 minutes to go now in the half. Loose ball in front.
And this is the pressure they need to apply before the half ends so they don't let up and allow Bedford back into this game.
Brooke Yabruti, Riley Bouvier, Brittany Pearson, Lindsay Holt, Liv Lebichuk. Lots of pressure. Now this is Stephanie Colombe, number 10 in the middle. There's a shot toward the goal, and that was a tricky one that went well wide, but it gave Rachel Noble a little bit of a palpitation as another one came in on her with pace. Bedford ball, far corner. 1 minute, 10 seconds left to go. The clock's running here as they restart. Bulldogs just want to get it out at this point to prevent a last-minute goal. But BG has other ideas. Right in front, the shot, and a glove save by Rachel Noble.
Yeah, you rarely see that, but Noble getting her left hand out there and knocking it away. You rarely see a save like that in field hockey. 46 seconds left to play in the half.
RN with a save. Saves the patient, which is the Bedford title hopes here. They just are hanging on by a string. 2-0. They need a goal and need to get some kind of spark to get back in this contest because BG's playing like it's 0-0 right now. They're in the hunt for number 3.
Well, when you're 5-8-1, you're playing like it's the start of the season. You're starting over, and no pressure on you. You're hoping to catch lightning in a bottle for 2 or 3 games and see how far you can go. If you're BG, you want to get back to Winnicott where your season's ended a couple of years in a row. You want to make that try to overcome that hurdle and get to the semis. I'm not sure if they ever made it to the semis. They may have made it once. I'm not positive.
We welcome our BCTV viewers. The question for Bedford is, will this be the last half of their season, which is upcoming here, the second half of this first-round playoff contest here at Stellos Stadium in Nashua. I'm John Collins along with Tom King and Tim O'Neill on camera. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the second half of this contest right after this break.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Welcome back, everybody. John Collins along with Tom King. Tom's favorite sport when it comes to halftime length. 5 minutes, these girls. That's all they get to regroup, even in a playoff game.
How about that, huh? They know how to do it in field hockey.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. 2-0, BG on top.
30-minute running halves, running time unless there's an injury.
Yeah.
And, only on the score, and then only after a score. And then, what you see out here is it's nonstop. So
They are the 1960s baseball of high school sports.
Boy, I'll tell you, it's getting worse and worse, isn't it?
Yeah. I looked up Rico Petrocelli, our friend from Nashua, was in the 1967 World Series, and I looked it up with him one time. One of those games went 2 hours and 7 minutes, and it was in the daytime.
Yep.
The whole game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So.
Catch the ball.
Yep.
I mean, get the ball back from the catcher and throw it. There's no working with the gloves and stepping out.
Right.
But here you go now, John. We've got the start of the second half. And
Bedford.
It's in Bedford. It's in BG territory,
Yep.
which you don't want if you're Guertin, and you do want if you're Bedford. All you need if you're Bedford is a goal. Maybe you've got probably 20 minutes. Get it to about 10 minutes down a goal, and then see the pressure mount for both teams.
Make it a one-goal game.
Make it a one-goal game.
And look at this.
Yep.
This is a pretty good spot for Bedford.
Make it a one-goal game. If you're Guertin, what you got to make sure you don't do is commit some kind of a infraction that's going to allow for a penalty shot.
Right. Don't
give
it away.
Yeah, for a penalty, what they call a penalty stroke. You don't want to give them, in other words, if you're McKenna Riki in goal, as she is in the second half, if you're Riki or one of her defenders, you don't want to fall on the ball, or touch it with your hand or anything like, the goalie can, but you don't want to commit that kind of an infraction during a flurry that is going to cause or allow for a penalty stroke. I mean, Guertin's lost a tough game that way earlier in the year. I believe it was to Londonderry. So, you don't want to let that happen. They've had some tough losses, John. They lost to Pinkerton with 30 seconds left with a goal, with a clean goal, not a penalty stroke goal. And we have a penalty corner right now for Bedford. And
Regan O'Brien.
And they're going to go to the side again.
That's their method.
Exactly.
They maybe get a shot off here. The ball jumps over the stick of Abigail Rocco. She tries to regroup and collect it, but never really got a quality shot away, did Bedford, on that penalty corner.
Can you guys hit rosters up there? Well, I'll take a minute.
So the second half began with, did they switch out the goaltenders? I think they did.
Guertin did. I already
yeah.
just said. Yeah,
oh, you did say that.
Riki's
Sorry.
in goal now.
Riki's in goal.
Yes.
And she immediately saw more pressure in the first few minutes than about that.
Well, I think Tosi had to make 3 saves in that first half.
That's true.
And if you're
she was a lonely goaltender for like the first 8 minutes.
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
Yeah.
But if you're a field hockey goalie and you're making a save, it's a clean save. It's not a cheap one.
Right. Ball at midfield.
Of course, Bedford's got a little extra motivation if they could win this game and go and win 3 rounds, because the finals are at Bedford.
Yes.
Bedford High School has always hosted the finals.
They would love to play at their home field, wouldn't they?
Sure. Oh, yeah. Exactly.
So Bedford will play it in here. Since the second half began, we've been looking to our left, which is kind of funny because we were looking to our left in the first half, but that was when BG was on offense that way.
Right.
Now here comes the Cardinals trying to get their first look at the goal in this half. There's a little bit of a miscue and body check. And
right,
this
but
is
see the slide right there? See, it's a little slippery.
Yep.
See, that was
a little moisture on the turf.
That was
in
Bouvier.
front.
That was Bouvier who slipped.
That's going to go against the Cardinals.
Right.
Fortunate for Bedford, they'll be able
and that slide that she took negated a play. So it is, with this drizzle coming down, it's the mist and drizzle. It's a little bit slippery out there. Got to be careful. Nice block by Bedford. Guertin trying to penetrate.
No one's in the high slot.
Yeah,
Nope.
yeah, but I think the middle of the field is not where you want to be. I think Guertin does its most damage from the angles.
Bedford with stringing some passes together here in the middle. One person to beat. Good move. The Bulldogs with a breakaway from behind. And the girl goes to the turf that had the ball. I don't think there was any kind of a violation or a foul there, though.
It looked to me like that was.
She just tripped on her own. Yeah, I thought so.
It looked to me like that was Chamberlain Bell.
Chamberlain Bell. She may have
16.
Tripped on her own. I think Chamberlain went down hard, but she bounced right back up. And Bedford still has possession.
Yeah, that's 16. That's Chamberlain Bell with the break. Didn't get it.
So Bedford will inbound it. They've had the best of the time of possession here in the first 5 minutes of the second half.
What's funny, John, is the referees are very specific as to where the free hits are going to be, and the kids aren't paying attention to her.
Bedford trying to get a shot away. Good job of intercepting there by BG's Lindsay Halt. Actually, I guess that was Sarah Coyle, number 27, not 17. Far sideline, Bedford with it.
Yeah, Lindsay Holt is back right at the edge of the circle now. We haven't said her name too much. I think that's probably because Bedford hasn't put a lot of pressure on, and she's usually right back there for it.
Right. Bedford will get the benefit of the call here and the restart possession. Looking for a ball they can use, though. The thing got loose all the way down the other side of the field. So some valuable seconds tick off the clock as far as Bedford's concerned, trailing 2-0 here at Stellos Stadium in Nashua as we play this in the first round on a Tuesday, October 22nd. Bedford with a call that goes their way. It's going to be another penalty corner for the Bulldogs. And again, the setup that Tom has questioned this as its effectiveness.
Now this is pretty good though. They've moved it over. You notice they're not going right to the side now.
Not as much.
No, not as much. They've changed the angle.
Oh, there's a body check. And is this going to be a yellow card? It's a green
card.
It's a green card, which is basically a penalty. The player is coming off the field.
And it's Holt, which is not surprising.
Yeah, she plays physical.
Lindsay's a physical player.
Yeah. Now, is this going to be a penalty stroke? No, it isn't. It's a penalty
but
corner.
They're going to be shorthanded, John.
Oh, yeah. That's good. That's good.
So they're shorthanded for, I would imagine, I think, 3 minutes. I'm not sure of the length.
Wow. That's substantial.
It is.
So Bedford trailing 2-0 can smell a one-goal game here. They need a quality shot on goal, of course. And BG steps up, intercepts the pass. Bedford desperately trying to reset. And it's on the far side in BG possession. So although Halt came off the field, the Cardinals anticipating that centering pass.
Now Bedford's got to take advantage of the numbers game here.
Sticks clash. The whistle favors the Cardinals.
BG, yes.
Played down the field. Bedford defender there waiting for it was Ann Ebby, but Ebby has it stolen away by Riley Bouvier. Bouvier, who has one of the 2 goals in this game, the second goal. Coming just under 10 minutes left in the first half.
You're Steve Duprat, coach of the Cardinals. You're holding your breath. You're dying for that 3rd goal so you can breathe easy. And they have a chance maybe here.
Brooke Yabrudi did a nice job of stealing away from a couple of Bedford players, but her shot was ruled a dangerously high one, and it's Bedford ball on the restart. BG immediately intercepts. Good sweep. Past Stephanie Colomb. Brooke Yabrudi trying to bear in on the right side, and we had
penalty corner will come up.
Penalty corner called against the Bedford Bulldogs. So BG with an opportunity to get that 3rd goal, that insurance tally that Tom was just talking about. Clock continues to roll with 21-20.
Right, and now you see the smart move right here by Yabrudi. What's she doing right now?
Taking her time, setting up.
Exactly. Taking her time, letting the clock tick down because it does tick down in between whistles.
Centering pass. Shot. It hit somebody. Might have been a save.
Years ago,
by
John.
Rachel Noble.
Years ago, John, that was an infraction.
Yeah, they would just
That was
whistle
a
it.
dangerous hit. Not anymore.
No, we saw a goal at about that height.
Yep.
From Riley Bouvier.
Yep.
BG intercepts.
Almost a third of the way now through the half.
They play it back. Could be a dangerous play. Bedford nearly the steal in the break, but good sure-handed play on the back line by the Cardinals. And that is number 6 for BG that made that nice play. Grace Wilson, starter on defense and a senior.
Now we
for
got
the
another
Cardinals.
whistle, and there'll be an inbounds play again.
Yep.
Free hit.
Number 18 is Brittany Pearson with some breathing room, sizing up the defense, trying to find a teammate. She carries it on the stick.
Right, she had a free start.
A
So.
Tiger Woods impression there. Balancing the ball on her stick like a golf club. That's a violation against Bedford. The quick restart.
Oh, nice swirling move, but no one there to get the pass. Right idea,
Yeah.
but no one there.
Nifty bag of tricks there by Brittany Pearson to nearly turn it into a shot on goal, a scoring chance. Cardinals back on the attack. Best defense is a good offense right now for them. Although, as Tom said, Steve Duprat would love to see a goal come out of it.
Right, they want that third goal, get themselves some breathing room. Imagine if this was still just a 1-0
Oh,
game.
yeah. Especially the way Bedford came out of the locker room or the halftime break. It looked like they were going to get that first goal. Bulldogs have it. As we are down to 19 minutes remaining in this first round playoff contest. A slip. Bedford trying to take advantage with the ball far sideline. Good step up and steal by the BG defense, however. That was number 25, Nashua Theophilopoulos. Loose ball in front. Whistle favors the
Bedford,
Bulldogs.
yes.
Penalty
Now,
corner coming up.
No, I think they're going to get it. Well, yeah, you're right. Penalty corner. Let's see, though. They've got to hurry. They're wasting too much time here. Trying to go over the play, but you know what? You got to have that set ahead of time.
Yeah, taking 30 seconds off the
Yeah,
clock that they
exactly.
need. So Regan O'Brien
And here we
getting
go.
set. Waiting for the official to say to whistle it.
And see,
on
that's why
as
you
she
want to
goes.
rush it. That's why you want to get moving, because
Yeah.
you don't want the official to slow it down.
Shot. No, it's a pass in the middle. Loose ball in front. Guertin first to it. Able to clear it away off
Yeah.
a Bedford player. And the whistle, and it's BG ball. Bedford just not getting any shots on goal out of those penalty corners.
No, they're not.
Their method is questionable there.
Yeah, we can't say they're not finishing. They're not getting the shots to finish. That's the problem. Got 4 shots on goal in this game by my count.
Nice stick handling by Bishop Guertin's number 18, Brittany Pearson. Bedford steals near midfield. Teams trading possessions now, which BG would be content to do for the rest of the game. Leading 2-0.
Right now we're 17:09 left. In my mind, Bedford has got to score in the next 7-8 minutes to basically keep BG from just floating the clock away.
Right. And you do sense the urgency on Bedford's part. Not able to come up with that finishing touch.
But see, Guertin ought to be playing this game right now at this point in the half like it's 0-0. They really should be.
Which at the beginning of the game meant keeping up all kinds of offensive pressure.
Right.
Bedford still with the time of possession advantage here as they keep it up. Ball toward the middle. Bulldogs trying to, what is the call?
Call's going to go against Guertin. It's going to be Bedford's ball with a penalty corner, I believe.
Yes, it will.
And again, they huddle up.
And again, they need a shot out of this.
Right, but maybe the referee is keeping track, maybe rewarding, adding some.
So who's the player right there
minutes.
that's going to get this ball right there, Tom? The Regan O'Brien passes it. The shot.
Oh,
a
nice
good save.
Kick save, rebound.
That one's through the legs and in. And Bedford's got their first goal.
Yep.
Oh, it went 5-hole after the great save by Riki. Unfortunately, the next one was point blank between the legs into the back of the box.
Chamberlain Bell had the initial shot for the save, but the rebound, I believe, might have been Regan O'Brien, but I'm not positive.
Which would have been number 7 who started that penalty corner.
Yep.
I think you may be right about that. So the pressure that Bedford put on since the start of the second half has paid off, and it is a 1-goal game.
There you go.
1 goal is what decided this contest back a month ago at Bedford in overtime, 1-0. It's 2-1 now, and BG trying to get that third goal still. Lindsay Holt will restart it. Holt passes on up the side. Brittany Pearson trying to elude a Bedford defender, plows into her.
Tosi makes the original save.
Sabrina tipping on defense there, number 20.
But unfortunately, she kicked it out so far that defense was not
Through
able
everybody
to do it.
and
Oh, my.
How did that not go
I
in?
don't know.
It looked like Nashua Theophilopoulos was in front, and she shot it wide to the right with the whole net open. I think that's what happened. It happened so fast.
Well, whatever happened, it had
It came.
Noble on the ground, reaching behind her.
Yeah. And the ball went off to the right, so it must have just came off Nashua's stick at a funny angle. Because if she just shot that straight, she had about 5 yards of open net in front of her, it looked like. I exaggerate. The net's, I don't know, how wide is the net?
I don't know, not as wide as a soccer goal, that's for sure.
No, it isn't true.
As you
It's
see
at
the
least
comparison, but we've got a game
10
here,
feet
John
wide.
Collins, with 14
Yeah,
left
look,
to
if
play.
Bedford can smell a tie game.
Yeah, they really can.
Especially they were able to score off a penalty corner finally, so they're going to be encouraged about that. BG has some numbers as they come down the field with some pace. Up ahead, good steal by the Bedford defense. Taking it back, Riley Bouvier has it. She's going to get a pass
in front, but it's intercepted.
in front, and yeah, not able to get the shot in the end were the Cardinals.
Nicole Message, if I'm saying that name right, got it and intercepted it. She's been busy tonight on defense. 13:49 to play, 2-1 to score. Wow.
It looked like it was going to be a runaway game, a runaway victory for BG after they got that second goal. But a different story since. If you look back, BG has been held scoreless for about 30 minutes now.
Yep.
Who will win the final 13 minutes? Turnaround in traffic, whistle, favors the Cardinals. They'll be 25 yards out from Rachel Noble's goal. In front, Lindsay Holt does a nice job of receiving that pass. She gets a shot away, and it goes
just wide, up in the air.
over everybody.
And just wide. Wow, that would have counted if it had gone in.
Yes.
Certainly looked it.
That could have ricocheted any place. Penalty corner for BG comes out of this, though. Opportunity. Starting it off will be Brooke Yabruti, number 5 from the corner. She's got a lot of options. Certainly BG sets up their penalty corners a lot differently than Bedford. They've got, looks like just about 5 receivers who could get the ball and shoot it just like they do here. That one whacked off the defender.
Yeah,
and
I think the stick went up over above her waist, so they're going to call it.
So Bedford gets the benefit of that call, and ball's out of danger for the Bulldogs for the moment.
See, the best penalty corners are when you charge the ball and are able to make a play on the defense.
Intercepted. Stolen back. Team's trading possession at midfield. Whistle. Bedford ball. Under 12 minutes to go. Bishop Guertin leading 2-1. Welcome our Bedford cable viewers on BCTV. Welcome, of course, our Nashua viewers watching Bishop Guertin host this first round playoff game. The winner of this will play Winnicott on Friday, 3 days from now.
In Hampton.
In Hampton. That's considered a quarterfinal round.
I don't believe it's going to be a beach day, so don't even bother thinking about it.
Don't try to double up.
No.
Bring the sunscreen. Brittany Pearson. Nice pass to Riley Bouvier right down the sideline with pace. Riley earns the foul and the quick restart by Lindsay Holt.
Told you
That's
she's
savvy to keep it going.
She's the X factor. She will make those kinds of plays, and she's got to make one here.
She knew she had defenders with their backs turned, so she tried to take advantage like a good goal scorer would. And she has led her team to a setup here with a chance. Brittany Pearson near sideline. Being checked by Bedford, but she's able to squeeze one through.
It's close. Very close.
Whistle goes against the Cardinals,
Yep.
jostling in front of the cage. They get called.
They're not making Noble have to play the ball. They've got to be able to get a shot on Noble, make her play the ball so there's a rebound, and maybe you can nudge one in. If you're Guertin, if you're Bedford, trust your goalie to make the play and then keep the ball moving the other way, but there's a nice pickoff by Holt.
Good anticipation. Lindsay Holt steps up, steals it, throws it in front. Deflection,
Oh, man.
off the stick of Brooke Yabrudi. Just a foot to the right of the post.
Unbelievable.
That was a nice redirect, actually. She just needed to tilt her stick a little bit more toward 10 o'clock instead
Holt
of 2
did everything
o'clock.
but score a goal there when she stole the ball, made the pass, and then Yabrudi's deflection.
Lindsay Holt seems to be a step ahead of her opponents much of the time. She is thinking ahead about what to do next.
Yeah, she's the three-sport athlete.
Creating
field hockey, ice hockey, and lacrosse. And she's won a title in lacrosse, 2 of them actually. I'm sure she wants to go to try to get one in field hockey. It's a tall order, though. There's some good teams in Division I, Pinkerton and Wyndham. And
I bet she's good at golf, too.
Probably. Don't you hate that? Some kid beat you. Drives you nuts.
Yeah.
Congratulations, by the way, to Nashua North. Bryce Zimmerman, he's the second year in a row. He's the state individual champion for Division I.
Bryce Zimmerman in golf?
Yes.
That's, there's really no way we could cover that, but that's one of the things I regret that we can't do more of.
Right. Well,
golf.
Nashua North had a good year. They finished with the best record they'd ever had, 17-6, and the highest finish in the team tournament they ever had, which was 3rd.
Congratulations.
And Zimmerman, what you do is you take that first round, and then that counts for 1 round, and then you have the second round where it's all individual play, and that was on Sunday, and Zimmerman came out on top. He was 2 shots back going into that final day. Had a string of 5 or 6 birdies, I think, in a row.
Wow.
Yeah, he really played well. This kid was a surprise as a freshman. 2 years ago. I believe he was the overall leader after 1 round. Didn't win the title, but was the favorite going into last year. Won it then, and now he's won it again. And for North, they've had, I think, 5. Brandon Gillis won 3. So that's 5 in the last 6 or 7 years. I think 5 out of 7 years that they've won it. And Bedford is just needing 1 good shot.
Stolen. And that's a whistle that goes against the Bulldogs. Regan O'Brien did great work there for the Bulldogs in advancing the ball far down the field and setting up a near goal-scoring opportunity. She is the player that we believe scored Bedford's goal, number 7 for the Bulldogs. So stepping up in crunch time here with the Bulldogs season on the line. They have a chance for a equalizer here late. Just over 7 minutes to
Wow,
play.
this is nerve-wracking time now because they're able to set up
Shot.
not too far away from where they scored earlier, even though it's not a penalty corner.
Bedford steals it back. Attempt to connect with Nicole Misage. Misage in the middle. Look out. BG knocks it down.
They've got to knock it in the right direction, which is downfield.
Couple of sticks clash as the ball is loose.
And it's too close for Bedford. Now they're at the goal line. Too close, but Guertin will have the ball.
Couple of Bedford players reaching for it, but not able to keep it in
my guess
bounds.
is somebody is going to call a timeout, and they just did. Yes, there we go. I think
So
it was probably Bedford calling it with 6:31 to play.
Yep. They would love to keep this ball in the BG zone until they get that second goal, the equalizer, and then it would be some kind of a thrilling finish to decide who advances to the quarterfinals. Of course, BG wants to get that ball out of their own end, maybe come up with a third goal, but at least keep the ball to our right to finish this thing out.
I think it's going to be easier said than done. I think Bedford has the momentum right now, and they're playing with a sense of desperation that Guertin just hasn't had since they scored that second goal. You notice that?
I hate to say it, but they got a bit complacent, it feels like.
It really did, and it let gave Bedford a little bit of a feeling they could change things after the first half, and they've come out and they haven't dominated, but they've got the edge in the second half.
Well, I think you alluded to the mistake maybe that you wanted BG to avoid, and you could kind of say that the penalty against Lindsay Halt might have been because they were shorthanded for however many minutes, and I believe that goal came during that time period.
I'm not sure if it did or not. I'll have to check with Steve Duprat after the game, but it was you get that flurry in front of the net, the way that worked out off the penalty corner, and anything can happen. And, Bedford, if they're going to score a goal, they're going to do it one of two ways. They're going to do it off a penalty corner, or they're going to do it off a penalty stroke. You don't want the stroke because that's going to give the Cardinal bench a stroke, collective stroke. So you've got to be sharp on defense here with 6:31 to play.
The restart will be in.
Just remember that the big thing for
BG
Guertin,
defensive zone.
Big thing for Guertin, if it's on the other side of the 50 and the clock's ticking, you're in good shape.
But right now they're a little nervous because they have to get it out of their own zone. There's a high shot. Nice knockdown by Riley Bouvier. Is that against the rules, though?
Stick was up in the air.
Bedford's trying to.
It's almost a high stick.
They want to restart it.
Well, they want to restart
at a different spot.
Yeah, they want to restart it. I thought the 35 would have been the place to start.
You get penalized for that?
Not sure. Did you see
Riley
a card?
Bouvier gets pulled off. Yeah, she just got one.
She just got a card. Evidently a dangerous.
Steve Duprat disagrees
dangerous,
with the call.
Dangerous with the stick up in the air like that?
Well, Riley thought that she was by herself, and I believe she was.
She
I think the
was.
closest.
There was nobody within 5 yards. 5 yards was probably the closest. Interesting call, but maybe there's something we're missing. Yep. So Guertin just has to, again, get it on the other side of the 50.
Nutmeg play there by Brittany Pearson, but not able to get it by all the Bedford defenders. They will have Lindsay Halt with the ball in her possession. She skips it on ahead over midfield. Bedford intercepts. Bulldogs back on the attack. Good one-time pass there. And an even better steal by the Cardinals. Teams trading possession. That whistle's going to favor BG as they sweep it on ahead. 5:38. BG not really stringing any passes together here. Bedford is.
John, in this bad weather, you got a pretty good crowd here. It's from above. It's going to look, from the field, looking up at the stands, like it's not very big. But, you got a decent crowd. Now, here's a break right now, and Noble has to come out with the kick save.
Powerful kick save. Gets it about 20 yards away. But
here's a chance.
Right back on the attack. That was number 5, Brooke Zabruti, who stepped up.
But she had Linton bearing right down on her.
Yeah, Elijah Linton. Her eyes lit up there, but it was a great reaction by Noble because she didn't sit back.
Noble didn't sit back. Noble saw that play about 10 yards before.
Lindsay Hull with another step-up interception in front. Elijah Linton never got a chance to shoot it.
Did not get
penalty
a chance
corner.
to shoot it. Penalty corner, but you know what?
would have been better off.
It would have been better off if Linton shooting it.
Yeah, because you can't get a better shot off a penalty corner than what Elijah Linton nearly got there.
She was all alone.
Yeah, interesting. You know, it's a penalty against the other team, but you're kind of penalizing the team that was fouled.
4:28 to play.
And the restart, a setup, the shot, wide.
And I think what they wanted to do is if it was going to go wide, or they wanted maybe the shot to deflect off of Linton's stick down on the side.
Yeah, that was Sarah Coyle that got that shot away, number 27. A little frustrated that she was off to the right, had great pace on it. Teams trading possessions in the Bedford zone. Under 4 minutes left. Bedford needs to get the ball down to our left and score to keep this game alive. BG with the pressure offensively, killing off valuable time. Brittany Pearson has it. Backs away, uses her body to shield the ball from the defender and moves to the right. Brittany Pearson still with it.
Oh, got hit with a stick.
Yep, now she's going to get a restart with space. Passes it on ahead.
And not enough space, though.
Sarah Coyle draws a foul. Sarah Coyle shuffling it, trying to get it through the defender. It goes off the defender on a kick. Another restart as we hit the 3-minute mark. 3 minutes remaining in this playoff contest, out of bounds off of Bedford. The restart. The Cardinals with it. So 2:40 to go now, and BG taking all kinds of valuable time off the clock as they are just smothering the ball in the corner, not giving Bedford any chance to break out. This is a clock killer here by BG on purpose, you would imagine. Brittany Pearson just making life difficult for the Bedford defenders. Finally, the Bulldogs awarded possession. And as we hit the 2-minute mark, they need to get the ball downfield. That hit a BG defender. It's going to go against, the whistle goes against Bedford as a dangerous hit. And so the Cardinals, with under 2 minutes to go and possession in the offensive zone. This is going well for BG right now. They get the restart with space. Brittany Pearson has it. 1:40 to go. Sarah Coyle gets shoulder checked, and it's going to be a yellow card against the Bedford defender, who does not argue. She just trots off the field. I do believe that was Isabel McStowe, who shouldered the offensive player, Sarah Coyle. That leads to a penalty corner with 1.5 minutes to go. Clock is momentarily stopped because of the penalty as the player trots off. Normally they keep it rolling before they restart here in the penalty corner. 1:35 to go. And the shot in traffic, loose, and a goal! Number 10 for BG, Stephanie Colombe seals the deal, gives them a 3-1 lead with 1:27 to go. And that, folks, in field hockey is going to be insurmountable, I dare say. Stephanie Colombe picks up the rebound in the penalty corner. The set piece pays off for the Cardinals. So after all that pressure that Bedford put on since they scored, since the start of the second half, and they scored their first goal, BG finally answers back. It was a good 37 minutes or so between goals for BG, but that is the dagger that's going to probably end Bedford field hockey's 2019 season. As we restart with 1:20 to go, and Bedford immediately forced to play defense once again as BG takes it deep. Lindsay Halt in the corner with it. Goes out of bounds off of a Bedford stick. And she will get to restart. Up top it goes, about 25 yards out, where I believe that's Sarah Coyle. So Bedford was shorthanded too after that penalty against Isabel McStowe before the penalty corner occurred. Brittany Pearson doing that juggling act with the stick, and the whistle goes against the Cardinals. Half a minute to go before BG gets to celebrate their first round playoff victory here in 2019. A little bit of a trip up there, and the Cardinals maintain possession. Pearson's going to sweep it on toward the goal. Riley Beauvier, one of the 3 goal scorers for Bishop Guertin. Riley Beauvier and Stephanie Colombe and Brooke Yabrudi, your goal scorers for Bishop Guertin. We believe 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1, and the Bishop Guertin field hockey team celebrates their first round victory over Bedford. A hard-fought game. The 3-1 score doesn't tell you quite how close it felt to the finish, to the 3rd goal there by Bishop Guertin. Congratulations to the Cardinals and Coach Steve Duprat as they advance to play in the quarterfinal round of the 2019 tournament. The game will be October 25, a Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock in Hampton against the Winnacunnet Warriors, the number 3 seed. For Tom King and Tim O'Neill and my executive producer Pete Johnson, I'm John Collins, thanking you Nashua ETV viewers for watching, and our BCTV viewers as well. Good night from Stellos Stadium, everybody.